Okay, so today we're going to undo something we've done before. I'm not sure if you've yet figured it out, but pretty much everything you're going to ever learn in math how to do, you're going to learn to undo. Everything's going to work forward and backward over time. So we've spent a good bit of time with me telling you I don't like improper fractions. We're going to change those into what? What can you change an improper into?
A whole or mixed.
Maybe a whole number, maybe a mixed number. So today we're going to reverse that. If we can turn an improper into a whole sometimes, we can turn wholes back into impropers. So that's topic one. Can anybody take a whole number here and turn that into an improper?
Yeah. You can make it a even fraction, which is like take 1 from it and then it'll be like 8/8. You can take 1 away.
If it were 1, we could make that 8/8, but I'm dropping you like a 7, a whole number 7. Can anybody make that an improper fraction?
You could change it 49/7.
We could. There'd be a simpler one than that, but that is correct.
7/1.
The simplest we could do is take the whole number and just put it over 1. So if your job is make an improper fraction out of a whole number, my main suggestion would be just put it over 1. I don't think you can get simpler than that. So if I shoot you an 8, you throw me back
8/1.
8/1. Question about that? That's the easiest thing we'll do today because it couldn't probably get easier than that. Mixed numbers, we can also turn back into impropers. So let's do the earlier idea that we've had. How have we taken impropers and made them mixed? What have we been doing there?
We divide.
That's the key word, is divide. We'll just go with that for now. The details you were about to say probably true, but when we're going in this direction, we've been dividing. So if we're going to go in the other direction, it must somehow involve multiplying. So somehow multiplying is involved in this. Does anybody remember the process of how you can take something like 7.5, how multiplying is for sure involved, and how you can turn that into an improper?
Change 7 into 7/1.
No, we're going to try to get this into one like improper bundle.
Do we times 7 by the numerator and the denominator?
We won't. Anybody else with either a suggestion on what to do or where it's going to go? Can you figure out where this will head, anybody?
Random guess, is it the top times the bottom?
It is not.
That's all I had.
I think you times the whole number by the numerator.
No.
Does it have anything to do with the whole number at all?
It does, absolutely, yeah. All three of these numbers are going to come into play,
Okay.
and we're going to make that an improper. Can anybody, without, I guess, thinking process, can anybody figure out what improper is the same as that mixed? Like something that if we saw it, we would turn it into 7.5?
You would times the denominator by the whole number and then add the numerator.
Okay, so what do you think this should turn into?
15 over 2.
This is 15 over 2, and everything you said just now was correct. 15 over 2, if we did have to fix this like we've been doing, you would take 2 into 15, which goes 7, and you're left over with 1. But the bottom doesn't change. When we reverse this, we're not going to change the bottom. If this has a 2, this has a 2. If this has a 4, this has a 4. We're not going to change that. But what we are going to do is multiply these, multiply the whole number on the bottom to get us up to 14, and then add on those leftovers. Add on that extra 1 to get us up to 15. So 2 3/4 volunteer. Is that a hand?
11 over 4.
It would be 11 over 4. This times this is 8. Add that on. We got an 11 over 4. Somebody else jump in? Yeah.
So the bottom is a 3.
Yeah.
It would be 11 over 3.
It is 11 over 3. Anybody need a reminder how those 3 people did those 3? Let's get somebody that didn't go yet. 3 2/5. Jump in. Yeah.
So the 5th would be the denominator. So 5 would be the
It is, yes.
And 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17.
That is correct. Good.
The 4 is the denominator,
Yep.
and then it would be
39.
Agreed. You good on that? We didn't pick on you yet. Question about making that move? The reason why we have to do this sometimes, in case you're wondering, why have you been telling me to change these and now you're telling me to make these? The answer is, if you're gonna multiply, if there's any fractions involved in multiplying, the only way you can correctly do this is by making yourself improper fractions. If you don't make improper fractions, none of these answers are gonna turn out. A lot of times people will think at first, this answer, if you're taking a 3 times a 3, will think that the answer should have a 9. It's a natural thought to have. And it's a chance you might have a 9, but it's much more likely it's going to be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, some other number other than 9 is more likely than 9. Okay? On this, 2 times 1 is 2. This answer probably will not start with a 2. It'll probably start with like a 3 or a 4. So to do these correctly, the first thing we're going to have to do, anything that has a mixed number, make it a fraction. Anything that has a whole number, make it a fraction. You can't multiply these in the form that they're in. It's just, it can't be done. I can't even really explain why it can't be done. It's just, it can't be done. So 2 2/3, why don't we go to you, because you didn't get to do one of these yet. Can you change 2 2/3 into an improper like we were just doing over there? It is 8/3. That is correct. So that goes out, new fraction comes in. Then let's go back to people who already took a turn. Take another turn. So 1 1/2's got to go. 3/2 is correct. 3 2/5 got to go.
17/5.
17/5. 3 2/3 got to go.
11/3.
11/3. 1 2/3 got to go.
5.
5/3 is correct. 3 1/3 got to go. Get you a second time. We'll come back to you in a second. 10/3. I lost a little bit of track. Is there anybody that didn't take 2 turns on this process yet today? Good. 1 3/8 got to go. 11/8 is true. And the last one's a little different. Again, if I just shoot you a 4, that's where we came in at the very beginning of the lesson. What if I give you a 4?
4 1s.
4/1. Okay, so to correctly multiply, if there's mixed or wholes involved, you have to make those improper fractions before you do anything else. Question about that? Then how do we multiply fractions? What's our scheme? Just go straight across. So this one, just yell anybody, new top?
24.
24, new bottom? 6. Is that best answer? No. What's best
4.
answer? Best answer is 4, because this is improper. If you multiply an improper by another improper, it's going to have to be improper, even more than it was. Okay, it's just those tops are going to grow even bigger. Then we'll have to divide the bottom into the top. This into this goes 4. There's no way you'd have ever gotten 4 by trying to deal with those ones, like the numbers you have. It can't be done. You have to make the impropers and then go. For this one, let's go bottom, just yell.
15.
15. Top, we might need pencil paper a second to figure it out.
187.
It is, good for you. Did you do that in your brain?
Yes.
All right.
I did it before while we were still explaining.
Go brain. 15 into 187. We might need some pencil paper. I don't know. To divide 15 into 187, getting out of people's ranges.
12.
It is 12. Go brain again. Leftovers.
Guardian.
7/15.
It is 7/15. Your brain is on
I'm
today.
married.
Let's get a different voice. Top.
50.
50. Bottom.
9.
9. Best answer.
45. Or no, 5.
Yeah, 5 to get 45 involved, though. Yeah, that's the right thing to have in your brain.
5/9.
5/9 is true. Last one. Top.
44.
44. Bottom.
8.
8. That could go 2 times in 2 different degrees of being simplified. One thing is it's improper, so you could deal with that first. Another thing is it can be reduced. Who can go into both of those numbers? 2 can, who else can? 4 can. So if you want to reduce those by 2s or 4s first, then deal with the improper, fine. You want to deal with the improper and then worry about the 2s or the 4s, that's fine. Can anybody jump through all those hoops, end up best final answer?
5 and 4/8, which would be reduced to 5 and 1/2.
That's perfect, yep. And that's our day. Okay, so a little bit of the homework will give you whole numbers, just put them over 1, that should be the nicest part of the homework. Second part of the homework will give you a mixed, take the bottom times the whole, add the top, that makes a new top, keep the same bottom, that's kind of medium difficulty. Multiplying will be the hardest thing. I don't know that I'd call it hard, but it's harder than the other 2 things because you're going to have to do that other stuff first, make your impropers, then you're going to have to go across, and then you're going to have to simplify stuff. Guaranteed you're going to have to simplify stuff. It's going to have to turn out improper. There's no other way other than that. Preview of coming attractions. Tomorrow we're going to divide with these kind of numbers. So I'll come back tomorrow. I'll have the same kind of stuff set up with the divide symbol. How do you anticipate that's going to be just a little bit different tomorrow when we divide these things?
They get smaller.
That's true, probably. What's the difference about dividing memories?
They may not be improper.
That's true. The main difference on dividing and fraction count.
Never mind, I already said they're different.
It's something we've said on that little vocab quiz that we've done maybe 5 times or so. What's dividing about? What's the key move?
Reduce?
Key flip change?
Yeah, we're gonna flip which one?
The second
The
one.
second one. Tomorrow, we'll do all this exact same process, but once we're established, we're gonna flip the second fraction and basically do the same thing. Let's see, so where we are on homework, we're gonna go 145 letter group. 145 is an A to O. That's gonna be a pretty quick hitting group like these. The main thing is gonna be in the back, there's a set Y. Set Y is gonna be like these. I'll require the same thing of you here that I did on the adding and subtracting homeworks that we did over and over and over again. What did I always want to see on the add subtract days?
The new fractions.
The 2 new fractions. So I don't care if you copy the problem down. If you want to, you can. But I do want to see the 2 new fractions you made that's going to lead you somewhere to an answer. So when we do the set Y, I'm going to want to see those new fractions. And then let me cut this off.
What is that?